So, just on Sunday after the Xbox Showcase, we had the Black Ops 6 Direct, which ended up being around about 25 minutes long, and we learned a bunch of details, not only from this Black Ops 6 Direct, but also from a bunch of content creators that actually went out to play Black Ops 6 early. And I just want to start off this video by saying that I think this might be the biggest COD game that we've had in terms of how much it changes the COD formula, but we'll get into that later on. So today I'm going to be summing up everything that we've learned from the Black Ops 6 Direct, and also a few bits of information that we learned from content creators as well. If you're looking forward to Black Ops 6 releasing later this year, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this. Show your support on this video by leaving a like, and let me know how excited you are for Black Ops 6 down in the comments below. Me personally, I can't wait for this game to come out later this year. With all that out of the way, let's get right into it. So Black Ops 6 is going to be launching later this year on October 25th, and this game will be launching on Game Pass. So if you have Xbox Game Pass, you'll be able to play this for free on day one. We didn't get any beta dates, unfortunately. However, they did give us the date for COD Next, which is going to be August 28th. On that day, we're going to be getting a full multiplayer reveal, and I personally think as well we're going to be getting a beta maybe a couple days after this as well. The reason I say that is because the past two COD Next, we've had the beta released like the day after or the week after, so I would expect the beta to be around about August, maybe early September. I would also guess they're going to be talking about what they're doing for Warzone that day as well, because the previous two COD Next, they've talked about Warzone. They also teased it in this Black Ops 6 Direct, so I think they'll be talking about that day as well. Now, I've split this video into 4 different segments. The first one is going to be general. This is going to be things that span across Black Ops 6, across the 3 modes. Then we've got the campaign specific information, the multiplayer specific, and the zombies. So we're going to start off with the general information. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about today is the Omni Movement System. Now, this is a term that has been thrown out there in leaks recently, and I don't think a lot of people fully understand what this means. Omni Movement basically gives us the freedom to move any way we want, and the best way I could describe that is you can sprint, dive, or slide in any direction you want. So if you think about your movement in a cone, right? You've got this cone in front of you where you are allowed to sprint, slide, and dive in the way COD works at the moment. And if you go outside that cone, you're only allowed to walk. Now, if you think about expanding that cone around your entire body, that's what Omni Movement is. So you can sprint forwards, you can sprint backwards, to the left, to the right, and you can also dive and slide in any of those directions as well. On top of that, we also have something called the supine prone, where basically when you lie prone, your body sort of stays where it is and you only rotate your head, whereas in the way COD works at the moment, you rotate your entire body with your belly on the floor. I'm sure I'll have the gameplay from the Direct on screen, but basically you rotate your entire body instead of just spinning around on your belly, which kind of makes more sense in a realistic manner. And the final thing for movement as well that I want to talk about is tac sprint is making a return in Black Ops 6, which you might feel a certain way about, but we're not talking about opinions today. Now, the next thing they talked about in terms of movement is something called intelligent movement. These are 3 assist settings that you can change for mantling, sprinting, and crouching. And this is basically an intelligent system that does these things automatically for you. So basically, you can have all of these 3 settings on. You can sprint, mantle, and crouch without pressing a single button. Now, this can be good if you want less button presses and you want to focus on your gameplay. However, I don't think I'll be using this personally because this could cause a lot of unwanted movement. For example, if you run up to a ledge and you're trying to get in a gunfight, you could probably just mantle up the ledge or, you know, crouch under something. And yeah, I personally think this is something we'll have to mess around with when the game comes out, but I don't think this is something I'll be using personally. Another thing they talked about as well is something called corner slicing. If you think about peeking from Rainbow Six Siege, where you can lean a certain way, this is something that sort of happens automatically when you walk around a piece of cover. It's not something you have to manually input. So if you're walking left around a corner and you're ADSing, your character will sort of lean left to get a little peek in there. Now, the final thing they talked about in this general section is something called hit zones. Basically, the way the COD works at the moment is there are 4 hit zones where a death animation can play. I think it's like upper chest to head, maybe your left side, your right side, and your legs. They basically expanded that to 9 regions of your body, so there's more realistic death animations. This is just something that I think adds more to the polish of the game, and you know, it's a little bit more realistic. This is something that I think would be better for the campaigns, maybe, or maybe even corpse launches in multiplayer, who knows. Now, with all that out of the way, we're going to hop into the campaign. Now, we're going to be talking specifically about the missions of the campaign and the setting and the characters of the campaign. So, Black Ops 6 is going to be set in the early 90s, basically in the Gulf War. This campaign is set just after the Cold War, and obviously after Cold War's campaign with the collapse of the KGB. And this is apparently directly tied to the flashbacks of Black Ops 2 as well, which is set in a similar time. I think it's just before this game. Obviously, after the events of Black Ops 2, Woods is paralyzed, so he's going to be behind the desk in this game, and he's got a protege called Troy Marshall. And the general story setup for this game is that Woods and Troy Marshall are involved in an operation that goes wrong, and they are both forced to go rogue against the CIA. Of course, as well, Adler is back in this game, and I think he's also gone rogue because of what happened post-Cold War, obviously with the whole brainwashing stuff and the Stitch stuff as well. So he's been accused of war crimes or something, so he's gone rogue as well. Obviously, we've had a lot of leaks about the open world missions for this game as well, and people are comparing that to Modern Warfare 3's missions. I wouldn't personally, because Modern Warfare 3 was a very rushed product, and this is something that has had 4 years of development, so it's going to be a lot more expanded on than that. But the way they described the missions similar to that is that some missions will have an objective, and you have different ways to complete said objectives. So you have the option to go loud, you have the option to go quiet, and they even talk about a way that you can, quote, talk your way through a mission or barter your way through, so you can maybe go undercover in these missions as well. The best way that I would describe these missions is sort of like Sniper Elite. If you guys have played that, you have an objective, you have some side objectives, and you can basically do whatever you want. And I think it's going to be a lot more expansive and in-depth than Modern Warfare 3. It's going to be more like Sniper Elite. So it seems like we're going to be going across the world in this campaign. We're going to be going from deserts to the tundras of Russia. We're going to be storming Saddam Hussein's compound to even pulling off a heist in the casino as well. So we're going to be seeing a lot of different areas in this campaign. And the final bit of information for the campaign is that the safe house feature from Black Ops Cold War is going to be returning. Instead of it being a garage, it's going to be an abandoned manor by a cliffside this time. And apparently this manor is a KGB black site, so it's possible that there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs inside and a lot of things to discover as well. And last but not least, the evidence board is going to be making a return in this game as well, so whether that means just side missions like Black Ops Cold War are going to be returning as well, I'm not too sure, but overall, this sounds like a very expansive campaign, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure they've also confirmed that the campaign is going to be a regular COD campaign length, so I would guess around about 6 to 8 hours, including side missions as well. Now, we're just going to hop right into the multiplayer, and the first thing I'm going to say is Classic Prestige is going to be making a return in Black Ops 6. It's about fucking time. This is going to work exactly the way you would expect Classic Prestige to work. On day 1, you can get to level 55. You can reset your rank to go into Prestige 1, level 1. That works all the way up until Prestige 10. Then you can get to level 1000 after that once you enter Prestige Master. So it's exactly the way it would work before, and I'm so excited. Apparently there is a classified reward at the end of the level 1000 run as well, so whatever that could be, maybe an exclusive camo, maybe it's just a blueprint, I'm not too sure. They did give us an interesting detail as well. The multiplayer canonically takes place after the campaign, so I'm wondering if they're going to be doing a similar thing to Modern Warfare 2019 Black Ops Cold War, where the multiplayer and the post-launch content is actually going to have its own story again, which I actually personally enjoyed it when they did that. Another returning feature for this game is theater mode. Oh my god, how long has it been since we saw theater mode? I think since Black Ops 4, so over 6 years ago now since we last had theater mode. And personally, I'm really excited for this. This is something that people need to use for it to return in future CODs. If we don't stay hyped about theater mode and we don't actually use it, they're going to discard it and say it's a waste of time. So we need to make sure we're using this, and I also hope there's some kind of community tab for this as well, where we can share clips within the game. Another key detail is that we are getting 16 maps on launch. We're getting 12 6v6 regular maps, so I'm guessing small to large size maps. Then we're getting 4 strike maps, which is 6v6 or 2v2. I'm guessing this is going to be similar to the strike maps from Black Ops Cold War, where they're basically just smaller, like gulag size maps basically. And they've also said that the 66 maps are going to be 3-lane maps, so we're going back to the traditional Black Ops system for maps, which is great. A few returning weapons that I've seen both in the trailers and in promo images. We've got the AS Val, the M16, the Psychov pistol, the XM4, the Krig 6, and the MP5. I'm sure there's a lot more weapons that I've missed out on. I'm sure this game is going to have a vast array of weapons, but these are the ones that I've spotted personally. The traditional score streak system is going to be coming back. It's not going to be like Black Ops Cold War, which is great. And there's also no carry forward system as well. The only item that's going to be carrying forward is the wood skins from the pre-order bonuses or whatever. The gunsmith is also going to be returning in this game as well, and it seems to me as well that the in-game UI looks normal again. I don't think they're going to be doing this, you know, Disney Plus Hulu BS that they were doing in Modern Warfare 2. It looks like it's going to be, you know, the bars across the top, a vertical menu or whatever, which is great. This is just something I noticed from, I think it was in the Black Ops 6 Direct, you saw some content creator screens. It just looks like a normal COD game. It doesn't look like the Modern Warfare 2 menus, which is cool. And the final thing I want to talk about for multiplayer as well, which I think is such an underrated feature, we are actually getting a fully customizable HUD in this game, which basically means you can move every element of the HUD wherever you want. You can have the mini-map in the middle of your screen, you can have it in the bottom right, you have your ammo counter in the top left, you can have your score streaks in the middle. It doesn't matter. It seems like you can literally place them wherever you want, which is such an underrated feature, and I'm really happy they're bringing this to the game. Now, last but sadly least is the zombies mode. This is something that they only gave us a teaser for. However, the teaser they gave us seems huge, and I can't wait to play zombies this year. Round-based zombies is returning, which is the only thing you need to know, to be honest. Like, round-based zombies is just the go. But yeah, this basically picks up after the Cold War story. It's going to be the Dark Ether story again, and it seems like one of the 2 maps on launch, yes, we're getting 2 maps on launch, is the island that Peck pointed towards in the post-credit scene for Black Ops Cold War. Apparently, it's supposed to be a sort of spiritual successor to Mob of the Dead. It seems like it's going to be some kind of compound or prison within an island, which is really exciting. We're getting the return of a set crew within zombies, with the option to play as your operator. So if you're a weirdo who likes to play as your operator in zombies, you can. If you're somebody who's normal and likes to play as a set crew with actual voice lines, you can do that as well. The option is there. Now, the final thing that we know, which is obviously something we knew from a while back, Gobblegums are making a return in this game. I'm not sure how. I don't know how they're going to monetize it or whatever it's going to be, but Gobblegums are definitely returning this year, which is huge. But they are going to be giving us more information on zombies later this year. I don't know if it's going to be a COD next or before that or after that. I have no idea, but they said they're going to give us more information throughout the year. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. So thank you guys very much for watching. Overall, I'm super excited for Black Ops 6. I had faith in Treyarch and their full 4-year development cycle, and they have fucking delivered, man. Honestly, this game seems so good, and I'm so excited to get my hands on it. So with that out of the way, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.